We're planning to walk across the suspension bridge on Red's opening day. You're going to need another plan. Now, engineers have to assess damage still from a crash that happened yesterday morning. 9 on your side's Tom McKee spoke to police about the challenge that will pose to some fans.
The Roebling Suspension Bridge was built during the Civil War. It's been open 151 years. In 1890, though, these structural supports were added for extra strength. Wednesday morning, take a look at the damage caused when a car hit this beam. It bent it back and cracked it. Now, engineers immediately closed the bridge to all vehicular traffic, and they're going to do the same for pedestrians on opening day. People walked across the closed suspension bridge Thursday without any problems. But imagine if the sidewalks were full of pedestrians on their way to Great American Ballpark. Richard Miller can. He's a professor of civil engineering at the University of Cincinnati.
When you're dealing with cars weigh a lot, but there's separation between them. They're not always all bumper to bumper. When you're dealing with people, you can get a lot of people in a very small area.
And that's the problem.
That probably is more load than the cars themselves would put on it.
Covington police knew that keeping pedestrians off the span was a possibility, so they've already made plans to keep things safe on their side of the river. Lieutenant Colonel Brian Steffen is an assistant chief.
We would hire extra officers on overtime to come down and man that bridge and make sure that those conditions are acceptable.
Covington's already dealing with drivers expecting the bridge to be open and then finding just the opposite.
Luckily enough for us, there's enough room for vehicles to maneuver and get turned around.
On the Ohio side of the river, drivers may be surprised if they try to use the GPS on their phones.
Their phone wants to take them a certain direction. Well, you get there and you can't get there, so think through it as much as you can.
Captain Mike Neville leads the Central Business District for Cincinnati Police.
We know it's going to be an inconvenience, but we ask you to plan out your route, know which way you want to go, because you can't get across that bridge.
Back on the bridge, engineers continue to assess the damage to the steel and whether it can be repaired or needs to be replaced with newer, modern steel.
The engineers will always err on the side of caution. They'd rather shut traffic down for a couple of days and make sure that everything's safe than take any chance on anyone getting hurt.
There's no timetable yet on when the damage is going to be repaired and when the bridge is going to reopen to vehicular traffic. Tom McKee, 9 on your side, on the Roebling Bridge over the Ohio River.